everyone, and welcome to Time and Money Mastery. We are your co-hosts. I'm Indiana.
And I'm Sam. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our episodes. Now, let's get started.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Time and Money Mastery podcast. It's your co-host, Indiana, here today. It's currently 5:20 p.m. on a Friday, and I'm just having like a little bit of a reflection, and I was like, I should record this because it's so relevant. And I think some of us, when we're on our money journey, we're so focused on our goals and being frugal that sometimes we resist spending money on the things that we need to. And I want to talk a little bit about that. So if you've experienced this, let me know. I'd be really interested if you felt the resistance of change, of upgrading, of, buying something that you need, but you really just don't want to spend the money because you're just so intent on your goals and you just feel actual physical pain at the thought of seeing your bank account numbers go down. I know I certainly have, and if you have, drop me a DM at Time Money Mastery and let me know. So the reason this has all come about is I've been having intermittent issues with my MacBook Air for about the past 12 months now. Right? So I've got a MacBook Air 2015 model, and it has served me so well. I've had it for 6 years now, and it has been solid as a rock. Until the last sort of 12 months, I've not had any issues with it. It has been impeccable, amazing. I am an Apple user for life. I am obsessed. I love their products. And yeah, it's just been so amazing. It got me through uni. It got me through, living in another country, living in Japan, moving interstate from New South Wales to Queensland. It has been all around America with me. It has been all around Japan with me. It has just been a really, really solid device. And I actually have quite an emotional attachment to it, which sounds so bizarre, but it was kind of my first big purchase. I think I was, what's quick math? I was 18, 19, around that age. And, it was the first large chunk of money that I was sinking into an item. So it had a lot of weight and value for me at the time. I can still remember the day. I can still remember the exact store, the person I was with when I purchased this MacBook. So it has a lot of value. It's been through a lot of memories, a lot of places, a lot of trips with me. So it does have a lot of weight in my life. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like I'm not going to cry about it, but it's nice to be like, I sunk $2,000 into this device and it has served me so well. And it has created so much ease and flow in my life. It's gotten me through a degree. It's gotten me through so many things. So, that initial upfront cost has 100% been worth it. If we do some quick math, it was around $2,000, something like that, maybe a little bit less. Let's say $1,800 over the last 6 years. That's about $300 a year. And that's actually insane because if you divide that by 365 days, I definitely use my Mac every single day. That's 82 cents a day. Crazy, right? Have you ever looked at it like that? Like I have never just looked back and thought, wow, like, okay, yeah, this is an expensive investment, but when I think about how much I use it, it's like 82 cents a day over the past 6 years. That's actually incredible. And I don't know like how many other purchases you could say like you get that same sort of value out of them. I personally haven't even had a TV for most of my adult life. I just never really saw it as necessary. I don't really watch free-to-air TV or anything like that. I just watch Netflix, Stan, or catch-up TV, and I can do all of that from my MacBook. So I've had a shit ton of value coming from it. So the point of my story is it was definitely worth the investment. So in the past sort of 12 months, I've had a few issues with it. It's not powering up properly or it's not charging properly. Some issues with the trackpad, that sort of thing, but nothing too like monumental. It was more so in the last sort of 3 or so months that those started to like really be issues as I'm using my MacBook more and more with the podcasting and my coaching business and, creating content. It's an integral part of my everyday life. And I think that's kind of been wearing down the battery and the trackpad and the keys and everything. So today I woke up and I was like, yeah, I'm going to have an awesome productive day. I'm going to get so much done. And then my laptop dies. So this laptop that I have a really big emotional connection to for the past 6 years decides that it doesn't want to power on anymore. And my instant feeling is, oh crap, I'm going to have to buy a new one. Oh crap. And then, I had to pull myself together and practice what I preach, which is all about, gratitude and money mindset and practicing gratitude. So instead of thinking of it like, oh crap, I have to spend this money now, I was like, thank you so much for serving me for these past 6 years. Thank you so much for, what you've done for me. This device has just, I can't even explain to you how much it's done for me. It's kept me connected. It's kept me pushing forward, and it's just been so good to me. And the second thing that I was so grateful for was that I have the money available to buy a new one. So that is monumental. I couldn't say the same thing, 5, 6 years ago. If something like this had happened, I would have been pulling my hair out. I would have been crying. I would have been stressed about how the hell am I going to pay for this? But where I am today, I know I have the money to cover this expense. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it was an expense that I was not expecting today. Yes, that's $1,500 less towards my house deposit, which does suck. Don't get me wrong. But I have it there. It's available. It's cash. It's ready to go. And this is why you always have an emergency fund, because these things pop up. And that's life. It happens. If I had had this money, in shares or in, something that was a lot harder to access, like a term deposit, it would have been a lot more of a process. There would have been fees, penalty fees, things like that. I might have had to pay capital gains tax if it was in shares. So I'm actually just so grateful. And I thank the universe today that my computer broke. I thank the universe that I have the money to buy myself a new one. And it's not going to mean that I go without food. It's not going to mean I can't pay my rent. I'm just so grateful. And this is the exact feeling and, the emotions that I want you guys to have. And this is why I am a money mindset coach, because it is so critical to set yourself up with the correct mindset that is going to absolutely empower you. Okay. In everyday life, we should be so comfortable and grateful and, in control of our money that when things go wrong and we have to fork out $1,500, it is no sweat off our back. It is not going to cripple us. It is not going to mean we go hungry. It's just another expense. That's what life's about. That's what money's for. That is the whole point of savings. Okay. So tying it back into what I was talking about in the beginning about, spending money on things that we kind of struggle to part with the money on, right? So I had known for the past year that this moment was coming. I knew that my laptop was on the way out and it was going to be money that I was going to have to spend. Now, the smart thing to do would have been to create a sinking fund or a separate fund for this MacBook and to start putting away, say, $50 a week, $100 a month, something like that, so that when it did eventually crap itself, it wasn't going to be a huge shock. But I didn't do that. And that's fine. That's just, it's not how I roll. It's totally cool if you guys want to give that a go. If there's like a big expense coming up or something like that. For me, I enjoy the gratitude and the joy of seeing that money in my bank account as like a total sum rather than as a separate sum specifically for one item. But that could have been a really smart thing to do. Now, The other thing that's really, really important is actually getting yourself the practical skills to be prepared for this. So the first step was, your money mindset and being in a place where, this isn't going to just cause physical pain to take that money out. And the second thing is the practical side of things. So having a great cash flow system in place, having a great budget, knowing what money is coming in and out, and having an emergency fund. I can't stress how important that is. If I didn't have that money sitting there, that emergency fund, I might have had to go a few weeks or even months without a MacBook. And I can't do that. I can't record my podcasts without it. I can't make graphics. I can't run my business, run my life without a laptop. It's an integral part of my everyday life. So it's so rewarding to know that I have built myself up to this point where I can pull that money out and not feel absolutely gutted by it. Now, there's a couple of things that you can sort of do to get around, like, the mental block or the physical sort of pain that you feel when you have to spend money on something. The first thing I want you to do is just take a moment to really reflect and think about what you're feeling. Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like, this is painful for me to spend $1,500 on a MacBook? Why? Because that sucks. That's a huge amount of money. If I look at my hourly wage, that's a lot of hours I'm sinking into one purchase, right? And then it's going to mean seeing my bank account reduced by $1,500. That sucks. It makes me feel like I'm a failure. It makes me feel like I'm not achieving my goals as quickly as I wanted. But is that the reality? That's the second thing you need to ask yourself. Are these feelings reality? Just because you feel something, it doesn't mean it really reflects the truth of the situation. Am I a failure because I have to pull out $1,500 for a laptop that's going to literally add value to my life? No. That's actually an accomplishment that I have that money there to pull out. That's not a failure at all. So you can kind of see how, asking yourself these questions and really reflecting on why you're feeling this way can help you to sort of overcome it. You can see how it's like, no, this is not a failure. This is actually an accomplishment. I'm so proud of myself and I can make this purchase happily. The other thing you can do is to ask yourself, is this something I need or is this something I want? Now, you might be thinking, okay, Indiana, shut up. You're just going on and on about your MacBook. You could have just bought a $200 laptop of any other brand. Totally could. I agree. But here's the thing, is that I have a lot of other Apple products that all sort of integrate, and, I'm used to the platform. I'm used to the software. I know how it works. It's like the back of my hand. I've had Apple products for, at least 10 years now. So for me to go and switch to another brand and learn their processing systems, their software, this and that, that's going to take time. And that's not something I'm willing to spend. So you only have two currencies in life. You have your time and you have your money. And for me, it's not worth the time of, I have to go out and research other brands, which one's good, do comparisons, what's a good price to pay, this and that. And then once I get it, I have to learn the systems, learn the process. If you're a MacBook user, you know what I mean. Going from MacBook to Microsoft or Windows is so difficult to wrap your head around. So for me, it was totally worth the money because it's something I'm familiar with. I know exactly what I'm looking for. The whole process took me 30 minutes. I knew what I wanted. I knew what memory I wanted. All I had to do was pick the color, go in, purchase it, done. So for me, I chose, to value my own time and, less headaches of choosing a different, cheaper brand to just pay for the one that I know and I love. And when you think about it, it is completely worth it. So they're the kind of things that you got to think about. Is it a need or a want? A laptop is 100% something I need. It helps me run my business. It gives me pleasure. It gives me relaxation and entertainment time because I watch TV on it. It helps me stay connected with my business partner through Zoom. It helps me talk to family and friends overseas. So for me, it was absolutely a need. But if it was something else, say, I don't know, what's another one? I would totally love a Louis Vuitton bag, right? That would be amazing. I'd love that. But do I need it? Absolutely not. It is not something that's going to add to my business or to my sanity or my happiness or my life. All it's going to do is look good, right? So you just got to ask yourself these things, are the emotions I'm feeling around this purchase, are they reality? Why do I feel like this? And then ask yourself, is this something I need or is it something I want? If it's something you need, go for it. Absolutely. That's what savings are for. What is the point of hoarding money and holding onto it if you're not going to use it, or if you're going to absolutely guilt trip yourself when you do need to use it? That is what savings are for. If you need it, you have the money, you have, the processes and the systems in place to know that there will be more money coming after you make this purchase. If this is your last $1,500 to your name, don't go and blow it on a laptop. That's just common sense. But if you have the money there, or you can make it work and you've got more cash flow coming in the next few days, weeks, months, then 100% go for it. Spend that money and use that product or that service with value and gratitude. I am so grateful that I have the money to make this purchase. I'm so grateful that I have the products that are going to enhance my business and my life. Do you see where I'm going with this? I hope you do, because there is nothing wrong with spending money when it is intentional and it has value and it is going to add to your life. So I hope these things helped you. I'm sorry that was a bit ranty, but I just felt like we really need to just remember, why we started this journey of money. It's so that we have the comfort, the safety, the security to make these purchases without guilt, without feeling pain, without worrying how we're going to, buy groceries. This is what it's all about. It's about financial freedom, living with frugality, but intentionality, and just enjoying your money. We work hard for our money. We should enjoy it, right? So I hope these things helped you. And, I still would really love to know what kind of things that you struggle to purchase. Like, what do you have trouble spending money on? And let's work through it. Slide into my DMs at Time Money Mastery. Or if you want to hit me up personally, you can message me at the_abundance_movement. And I would be so happy to help you work through your money blocks around, buying things that you need or want in your life. And I hope you have a great day. There is abundance on the way for you. So that's a wrap. If you loved today's episode, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and let us know why you loved it.
And if you know someone who needs to hear this, then send it their way and share it to your stories, tagging us at Time Money Mastery.
Feel like you're wanting just a little more? Jump on over to our Facebook community. You can find the link in the show notes.
That's all from us today, fam. We'll see you soon.